First of all, we know that Abraham left Ur of the Chaldees to go to a land that God would show him. We know that he was barren for 25 years. At the age of 99, he was promised a son by his wife, and at the age of 100, they are given Isaac as their son. Genesis 25 actually picks up with the death of Sarah, and it tells us that Abraham is about to die at the age of 175. Isaac marries Rebekah. Rebekah has been barren for 20 years because, as we said before, in Exodus chapter 20, God says, "Thou shalt have no other gods before me, for I the Lord am a jealous God, visiting the iniquities of the fathers to the sons to the third and fourth generation." And then in Joshua 24 chapter 2, he says that Terah worshipped other gods. Because Terah worshipped other gods, he was barren for twice as long as everybody else. Isaac is 60 years old. His sons are born. Abraham is 160 when they're born. Isaac prayed to the Lord on behalf of his wife because she was childless. The Lord was receptive to his prayer, and his wife Rebekah conceived. But the children inside her struggled with each other, and she said, "Why is this happening to me?" So she went to inquire of the Lord. And the Lord said to her, "Two nations are in your womb. Two peoples will come from you and be separated. One people will be stronger than the other, and the older will serve the younger." Because when her time came to give birth, there were indeed twins in her womb. The first one came out red looking, covered with hair, like a fur coat, and they named him Esau. After this, his brother came out, grasping Esau's heel with the hand. So he was named Jacob. Isaac was 60 years old when they were born. When the boys grew up, Esau became an expert hunter, an outdoorsman, or a man of the field. But Jacob was a quiet man who stayed at home. Isaac loved Esau because he had a taste for wild game, but Rebekah loved Jacob. These two boys are as different as could be. Jacob sounds like he's a homebody. He's a very plain person from what it sounds like. But Esau is a skillful hunter. He is a man of the field. We haven't heard about anybody else in their family being hunters. We've seen them being nomads in a lot of ways. We've seen them sojourning from one place to another. We haven't seen that anywhere in the Bible, except one other time so far. And that's with Nimrod. Nimrod was known as a mighty hunter before or against the Lord. Could there be any similarities between one hunter and the next? Abraham is 175 years old. He's obviously had Ishmael and he had Isaac, but after the death of Sarah, he married his concubine Keturah, and they had several other sons, right? But remember, Isaac is still the son of promise. He sends away all of his other sons to go and seek their fortune. He sends them with gifts, but Isaac is the son of promise. So for all intended purposes, Isaac gets everything. During the 15 years of their life, did Jacob actually see these other ones being sent away? And he knows that that is my portion in life. It says, once when Jacob was cooking a stew, Esau came in from the field exhausted. He said to Jacob, "Let me eat some of that red stuff or pottage because I'm exhausted." That is why he was also named Edom. Jacob replied, "First, sell me your birthright." "Look," said Esau, "I'm about to die, so what good is a birthright to me?" Jacob said, "Swear to me first." So he swore to Jacob and sold his birthright to him. Then Jacob gave bread and lentil stew to Esau. He ate, drank, got up, and went away. So Esau despised his birthright. Esau's birthright has to be of some value that he bargains for it. But let's talk about Esau. It said that he had just come in from the field and he was exhausted. You're a hunter and you're exhausted. There's no mention of him bringing back any game. When I think of hunters going out, I don't think about them necessarily exerting a lot of energy only to come back empty-handed. What exactly were you doing? One of the things that Laura Sanger points out is something called the meal of comfort. Whenever a man's father dies, it is the responsibility of the firstborn to prepare the meal of comfort, also known as the red lentil stew. Who is supposed to prepare the meal? But instead of preparing this meal, Esau is out hunting. Esau despises his position as the firstborn. He despises his father's grief. He despises the role that he's supposed to play in comforting his father. And not only that, but takes what is meant for his father for himself. This is the book of Jasher, chapter 27. And Esau at that time, after the death of Abraham, frequently went in the field to hunt. And Nimrod, king of Babel, the same was Amraphel, also frequently went with his mighty men to hunt in the field, and to walk about with his men in the cool of the day. And Nimrod was observing Esau all the days, for a jealousy was formed in the heart of Nimrod against Esau all the days. And on a certain day Esau went into the field to hunt, and he found Nimrod walking in the wilderness with his 2 men. And all his mighty men and his people were with him in the wilderness, but they were moved at a distance from him, and they went from him in different directions to hunt. And Esau concealed himself for Nimrod, and he lurked for him in the wilderness. And Nimrod and his men that were with him did not know him. And Nimrod and his men frequently walked about in the field at the cool of the day, and to know where his men were hunting in the field. And Nimrod and 2 of his men that were with him came to the place where they were, when Esau started suddenly from his lurking place, and drew his sword, and hastened and ran to Nimrod, and cut off his head. And Esau fought a desperate fight with the 2 men that were with Nimrod. And when they called out to him, Esau turned to them and smote them to death with his sword. And all the mighty men of Nimrod, who had left him to go to the wilderness, heard the cry at a distance, and they knew the voices of those 2 men, and they ran to know the cause of it, when they found their king and 2 men that were with him lying dead in the wilderness. And when Esau saw the mighty men of Nimrod coming at a distance, he fled and thereby escaped. And he came into his father's house, wearied and exhausted from fight. And he was ready to die through grief, when he approached his brother and sat before him. And he said unto his brother Jacob, Behold, I shall die this day. Wherefore then do I want the birthright? And Jacob acted wisely with Esau in this matter. And Esau sold his birthright to Jacob, for it was so brought about by the Lord. If Esau killed Nimrod, this only adds to the iniquity that's on his hands. Because instead of mourning the passing of his father's father, he's going out to shed blood. Because of this incident, he was known as Edom. And so we got to understand, it says he was known, or he became known as Edom. This isn't just like a simple, this is just a secret. Everybody is calling him Edom because this has become public knowledge. The fact that he despised his father has become public knowledge. We go further down. Isaac wants to go ahead and bless his son. Jacob's got the birthright, but Esau's about to get the blessing. Isaac tells Esau, Go out, make savory meat such as I love, so I can come back and I can bless you. This Esau wants, right? So he goes out, and Jacob, by the leading of his mother, begins in deception to dress himself in a hairy garment to prepare a meal, because keep in mind, Isaac is blind at this time. He's going to go in, feed him a meal that's been prepared by his mother, and then steal the birthright. So this was the blessing. May God give you from the dew of the sky and from the richness of the land an abundance of grain and new wine. May peoples serve you and nations bow in worship to you. Be master over your relatives, including Esau. May your mother's sons bow in worship to you. Those who curse you will be cursed, and those who bless you will be blessed, right? So this is not just a blessing. This is a blessing that in a lot of ways subjugates Esau to him. Now, obviously, Esau comes in at length and he's expecting the blessing, but he finds out that Jacob has tricked him yet again. And he says, Father, have you no other blessing for me? And this is the blessing that his father gives him. His father Isaac answered him, Look, your dwelling place will be away from the richness of the land, away from the dew of the sky above. You will live by your sword, and you will serve your brother. But when you rebel, you will break his yoke from your neck. So the only blessing that you receive is that you will serve your brother, and the richness of heaven and the dew of the ground and all that stuff. Yeah, you're going to live away from that. That's where your dwelling is going to be, right? So Esau, in despising his birthright, has lost everything. Jacob played his part, but Esau in a lot of ways gets what he deserves. Now his anger is so kindled that he says that he's going to kill his brother, because we're already seeing him make this vow to come against his brother. Now this is not a vow that just ends with his life. This is a vow that carries on in generations that follow and is still going on today.